Hey everyone, it's Shakira. Happy New Year. I hope that everyone had a safe and happy New Year's Eve celebration, and I hope that everyone has started to kind of get their goals together if you have not already gotten your goals together, because I personally started working on my goals and what I wanted to achieve in 2018 during the winter solstice, like the 20th, 21st, so all and throughout Christmas. That was a really good time to do your goals, but also, as we know, the new year is a great time to start working on your goals as well. I actually filmed this video a couple of different times and it didn't come out how I wanted it to come out. So we're gonna try this again, all right? So I will be looking down and over to the side, because since it's 2018, it's the new year, it's time to really get after your goals and get what it is you want out of life. So in order to do that, though, a lot of people have a negative or pessimistic outlook on their life because they've made mistakes, they've messed up, they feel guilty, they feel shame, and all of these things that are not going to help you progress in life. So my first tip for you is that you need to accept and realize that you are the start in the beginning. You are the end all and the be all when it comes to creating the life that you want. Okay, so I hear people say this God's plan thing a lot. And for the religious people, okay, you got to remember that you were made in his likeness, okay? You are a god or a goddess. So therefore, you can create your plan. You can recreate your plan. You can remix your life. You can be living a crappy life for 10 years of your life and then completely switch it up just by making the decision, okay? So understand that if you want your life to get better, it's up to you to make the changes. For example, you are less likely to progress and achieve the goals that you want to achieve and be happy, because you might achieve certain career and financial goals, but if you're in a bad relationship, or you live in a bad area, or if you're not right up here mentally and spiritually, none of that is going to matter. You will not be satisfied. Everybody knows somebody that seems to have everything, but they're still so unhappy, and you can't understand. It's because they're not right in the head, mentally, spiritually. And they also feel like they can't make any changes, that this is who they are and how their life is. But that's not true. You accept and realize that you can solve all of your problems simply by taking a step in a different direction, okay? So it starts with you. Second, you need to go and look for the answers to your problems. So if you have issues with, okay, so a lot of times our belief systems manifest as relationships or job choices or low self-esteem or extra weight. But the root cause is the belief systems, okay? So you look at the fact that all this crappy stuff continues to happen in your life, and you probably blame everybody else, and you probably feel stuck, and you probably feel like, oh, it's just how it is. But that's not the truth. If you uproot your false belief systems, uninstall bad programming, then you will start to change your life as well. So for example, if you grew up in a house where money was an issue, where I'm plugging in my salt lamp. If money was an issue in your household growing up, if you heard things like, we don't have enough, we can't afford it right now, this and this and that, or if you lived in poverty, then you likely have a scarcity mindset, meaning you're anxious when it comes to money. You maybe mismanage money. You hoard money, so you're not even able to really make money. So you got to uninstall. You got to uproot the root problem, because everything that happens in our life is just a surface level issue. It is kind of like it's kind of like the disease, right? Like cancer doesn't happen overnight. It takes some time to happen. High blood pressure doesn't happen overnight. So you can think of that in the same way as you think of bad situations in your life. What is the root cause, especially if it continues to happen over and over again? Another example, women that continue to get in, men as well, that get in bad relationships, negative relationships, unhealthy relationships over and over and over again. That is a sign from the universe, from God, from your higher self saying you need to learn some lessons here. You need to uproot some stuff here so that you can stop making the same mistakes, because this type of relationship is not normal. All right. So get moving and figure out what the root problem is. It will be different for different situations, but every issue has a root problem. Okay. Then you have to uninstall. Well, you've already uninstalled. Now you have to reinstall. And this is kind of the same. You do this at the same time you uninstall, because to uninstall, you have to program with positive affirmations, with positive things and things that you really are, because we were all born into the world perfect. It's when once we started to grow inside, depending on what type of environment your mother was in. I need some chapstick. It's so dry here in Texas. My lips, everything is suffering. When you were in your mother's womb, if there was arguments, if there was, drama and stress, then that started to develop your programming. Okay. So, but no worries, because we're going to leave that. That is the past. We can't do anything about it. Right. So you have to reprogram. Positive affirmations. I Am by Paul Santisi. Listen to it every night while you're going to bed. Turn it down on low and get yourself some headphones and reprogram your life just like that. That's what I did. And I was really serious. I was not playing no games, because the biggest issue for me in my life was repeat negative relationships, unhealthy and toxic relationships. And so eventually I started to realize, I did step number one. I accepted and realized that, damn, while they may have mistreated me, I allowed it, not just once, but over and over again. So that's something you got to remember. You can't, the people that have mistreated you, from your boss to your mom to your husband, your wife, they have to figure out their own situation in life. It's up to them. It's not up to you to try to fix other people, but what you need to do is fix yourself. All right. Fix yourself. It starts and ends with you. But so anyway, I started doing this work, this spiritual work on myself, and I realized, okay, Shakira, you were actually the problem, and focus on yourself and what you need to do to fix yourself so that you don't have to have relationships that are like this anymore. And so that's what I did. The I Am Paul Santisi had me, it'll work on all your issues. I used to have an issue just with getting everything going, getting things done, being lazy and not focused. And so that I Am Paul Santisi, that book, my first book that I wrote, called The Glowing Mom's Guide to a Healthy Family. That was my first book that I made, that I typed up, and I did all by myself. I had an editor and stuff like that, but I say all that to say it will make you, it will influence your mind to start moving and doing things that you never thought that it could. And then eventually you'll be like, wow, you will look at yourself, and then you look at your old self, and you will be so proud of your growth. So anyhow, new programming, reprogram. You can listen to I Am Paul Santisi, which I highly recommend, but also writing down affirmations. You got to forget about the mistakes and your past and your F-ups, because everybody is F'd up. The difference between people that have F'd up and are still there, and that have F'd up but have moved on, is that we just let it go. There's no benefit to beating yourself up about mistakes that you made in your life, okay? You are supposed to learn from your mistakes. You're not supposed to carry them with you like baggage. That's what baggage is. let it go, learn from the mistakes and move on. So writing down your affirmations that pertain to you. So for me, it was a lot of, I love myself. I deserve a healthy relationship. I live a peaceful life. I am beautiful. I am successful. I am full of energy. You know, tailor your affirmations to who you are and what you're trying to develop. Okay. Also, don't stop. Once you start this work, it's never going to stop. I'm still working on myself and my spirituality. The thing is that it changes. The more you learn, the more you learn, the more advanced information you're going to need, the more advanced teachers you will need. You just got to remember that this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. This is a journey. And the more you learn, the more you'll learn after that. Okay? Even the most spiritual and enlightened teachers know that. Okay? So don't stop. Everybody's journey is different. 6 months, a year to make radical change, like, you know, control of your thoughts type of change. It just depends. So next, forgive yourself. This is very, very important. You must forgive yourself for your mistakes. Like I just said, leave the baggage down, okay? Move on. You are not your mistakes. You have made mistakes, but you are not your mistakes. Where people mess up with mistakes is that they make them again, and they don't learn from them. All the events in our lives, okay? My 2 failed marriages were lessons. These people came into my life to show me that I was incomplete and that I needed to do some extensive work on myself if I ever wanted to be happy in a relationship. You know, I had to become happy within myself first and realize who I am and what I want in order for any relationship to work, okay? Because I also had to realize that even though I was different in the way that I would communicate than my partners, I was attracting people that were vibrating low because I was vibrating low, okay? And our emotions just manifested differently, or, you know, our communication was different. And so anyhow, you must forgive yourself, because what does it do to hold on to anger and resentment and beating yourself up? It does nothing but bring your vibration even lower, 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 and your self-esteem even lower, 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 lower. And that's just counterproductive when it comes to changing your life. Let it go. You don't have to talk about that you had 3 babies out of wedlock and you have 3 babies' fathers or babies' mothers, or you lost 10 jobs, or you dropped out of school, this and that and the third. Focus on how to make it better. All right, that is what we do. We focus on how to make it better if you are really going to change your life, okay? Next, look for the lesson in all of the events in your life. I already said that. Look for the lesson. So if your issue is losing jobs, perhaps you're lazy. Perhaps you're not doing the best that you could be doing. So you need to start looking up business people. You need to follow business people, get business advice, work on your self-esteem and figuring out, why are you being lazy? Why are you not doing your best? You know, or maybe you shouldn't even be at that job because you want to be an entrepreneur, whatever. Get to the bottom line. What is the real issue? Okay. Write out your goals. Very, very, very important. It's not enough to think of it. You have to write your goals. And this is a really good book, you guys. 7 Strategies for Wealth, Happiness, Power Ideas from the foremost business philosopher, Jim Rohn. So this is a good book because you actually have work to do. You got to write it down. You got to write down your goals. You also, and it's not just like, 5 goals. It's your financial goal, your money-making goal. So financial and wealth building, basically investments and saving and stuff like that. Then how will you make money, like your business goal, business or work, career goal. Education goal, continuing education. It doesn't matter if you have a master's or what. Learning is an ongoing process for, people that have doctorate degrees and stuff like that. Everybody should continue to learn. What else? A family goal and something like that. Something like that. Family goal. But it has like several categories. And then you got to write down why you want to achieve these things. And so only somebody that's serious will, one, take the time to read this book, and two, take the time to write the goals down, write the things down that he or she wants to achieve. Let's see. So writing down your goals rolls in to continue to seek knowledge. Continue to read. Continue to work on the things that you know you need to work on. If your thing is self-love and self-esteem, work on your self-love and self-esteem. Do the mirror exercise that I and the mirror's over there. But do the mirror exercise. Look yourself in the mirror and say the things that you least believe. Say you're beautiful if you are horrible on yourself, if you're hard on yourself. Say you're beautiful. Say you're successful. Say I'm in shape. You know, whatever you know you need to work on, get the goals that are in alignment with that, or the affirmations that are in alignment with that. Okay? And you got to repeat this over and over again. Over and over and over again. It doesn't stop. Once you master one area, then you move on to the next, okay? Next. Very important. Very, very important. You must remove all negativity from your life. All of it. I don't care how long you've been together. I don't care how many kids you have together. I don't care what you have together. I don't care if you lived in the same house for 20 years. But you know, if you want to move on and advance in life, you got to leave. Because certain things cannot come to certain spaces. If you live in a negative space, mentally, physically, vibrationally, it's not going to come to you. So if you are in a bad relationship and marriage where you're constantly fighting, it's going to be very hard for you to succeed and change your life. If you are mentally in a bad space, it's going to be very hard to succeed and change your life. If you cannot find it in you to leave a bad situation, then you might as well just say, forget it. Like, don't complain about it if you're not willing to be radical with your change, okay? It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be scary. You might suffer financially for a little while. You might feel lost and alone. Yes, a very uncomfortable space you might find yourself in, but it does get better, okay? And the funny thing is that when you are called to change, when your higher self says it's time to go, it's going to be you'll constantly be fighting because one person is going up while the other person is moving too slow or not moving at all right? So nobody gets married to get a divorce, okay? Nobody gets into relationships to, and expects them to fall apart. Nobody starts to live in the area and think, okay, I'm going to have to move soon because of that, whatever. Nobody gets a job thinking that, this is going to suck typically, but I got in my little meditation closet and room, and I wrote down affirmations in all of my journals. And I wrote, and I manifested, or prayed and asked for assistance. You can ask for assistance from Jesus, from Buddha, from whoever you believe in. Lakshmi, whoever. And have faith that what you need in order to go to the next level in your life will be provided. And it was provided for me when I didn't know, I didn't want to be divorced for the first time, and I definitely didn't want to be divorced the second time, but there was just a vibrational pull, just like this ain't gonna work. And you're gonna either accept less than you deserve and just lay down and just rock with it and be miserably married like a lot of people are, or you're going to step out on faith, not knowing what is going to happen at the end of the day, and make sure you're happy and you live the peaceful life that you have been in your meditation room writing about and willing into your life. So I've done it, and that's why I know it is possible for everybody. But just know, if you got negativity in your life, it's going to be very hard to manifest a positive and happy life. Okay, so those are my tips for a successful 2018. I hope that you found them helpful, and as always, you guys, I appreciate you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.